Introducing State of Decay 2. That doesn't mean I'm done with Stardew Valley, but we're going to get a little bit of variety up in here. To start with State of Decay 2, we're going to talk about the first base locations in the three regions: the Vogel House, the Clarington House, and the Justineau House. These bases are all really similar because they serve as a tutorial house. You can see me on the approach to one of them right now. And what that means is that the actual functions of the houses are exactly the same. The only thing that's different are some cosmetic differences and their location. The reason why you'd want to know some of this information is because if you were to change regions really early in the game, maybe you didn't like the map, well, if you don't have at least 4 people, then you cannot move into the next smallest base, because the 3 starting houses have a population requirement of 1. So you could have only 1 person in your community, and you could still move into a house, whereas the next smallest house would require 4 people. So to make that easier, let's actually take a look at the locations of the 3 houses. So in Meagher Valley, which is just the valley, you have the Clarington house located right here. In Drucker County, which is the plateau, you have the Vogel house right here. And lastly, in Cascade Hills, which is the foothills, you have the Justineau house right here. So once you have the starting house, what are the advantages to it besides the fact that it only needs 1 person to claim? The biggest advantage is that it has 6 bedroom slots, and none of the existing facilities have any upkeep. So you can freely expand to 6 people without needing more beds, and you're not going to have to worry about any of the existing buildings having a tax on your bulk supply resources. The downside to the starting houses is that you don't get any large facilities, which may or may not matter depending on the trade skills of your characters, because many of the large buildings require a trade skill to really be of any use, such as needing a craftsman to make a forge. So let's take a look at the existing facilities. The master bedroom could be argued to be the large facility of the base, but it's a pre-built and non-customizable. It does provide a morale bonus and no upkeep. You get a secondary bedroom. You, of course, have your storeroom, your command center, and then there is a kitchen. After you fix up the base a bit, you're going to be left with 3 slots that are small facility options, but it could be argued that 2 of those slots are already spoken for because you really want a workshop and an infirmary. It's difficult to play around those because without the workshop, you can't salvage weapons and you can't repair them, and without the infirmary, it's going to be difficult to readily recover from any injuries you gain. The 3rd facility slot, that's really up to you though. In my playthrough currently, I'm choosing to put the latrine in because it doesn't have any upkeep, and currently my community is really small. I only have 2 people because I exiled my first guy because I didn't like his stats. But what this really translates to is that I don't need a garden because countering the food consumption of 2 people isn't really that big of a deal. Also, leveling up isn't that big of a deal for 2 people, so I see no need for the fighting gym or the shooting range. So process of elimination kind of brings you to the latrine because I don't really have many trade skills to work with, but whatever you put there, you can experiment, you could capitalize on a particular skill you have, and don't forget that you can always tear a facility down and replace it if you wind up not liking it. Really, the ultimate decision in these starting locations, though, is how long do you intend to stay there, because you do have those 6 bedding locations. You could choose to just amass 6 survivors and then just skip directly into a really big base, or you could just grab 1 guy and immediately move into the 4-man base. If you do decide to stay for a little while, make sure you upgrade your storage facility's capacity to raise your supply cap from 15 to 25. And now you know basically everything you'd need to know about the starting bases in State of Decay 2, especially if you get lost when you transfer to another map. At any rate, hit that like button if this video is helpful for you, and subscribe for future State of Decay 2 content. And remember, if you're having trouble with State of Decay 2, you don't have to be good to get good, and it's my job as the Get Good Fox to make sure that happens.